Good morning. Right now it is 9:30 on the dot, and I'm excited. We have an awesome show today. I have some good friends in studio. I feel like we've been chatting for a bit, and I've got to know. I haven't had the opportunity to meet you yet, but we're going to go ahead and kick it on the FM, and then we'll get you reintroduced to our audience, and we can talk about all of the cool things that are going on and coming up. Here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. Right now it's 9:30. Maybe you're watching from the KHEA Facebook page, or you're listening on the KHEA Radio app or 99.5 FM, whichever way you're listening. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. We are almost at Thanksgiving, which is crazy because the year has flown by, and that means there's a lot of holiday events going on, coming up, and we're going to be learning about some cool stuff that's going on. So I have two guests in studio. I'm going to let them introduce themselves and then share the organization that they're with.
Hi, I'm Michelle West, and I'm here representing the Hitchcock Education Foundation.
And I'm Monica Cantrell, Executive Director of the Hitchcock ISD Education Foundation.
Cool. What's your last name again, Monica?
Cantrell.
Cantrell. I'm going to write that down so I do not forget it. So, Michelle, you also are one of the owners of a local business as well, right?
That's right, Legacy Collision.
Where y'all at? Where y'all located?
We are at 7887 FM 2004 in Hitchcock, Texas.
Okay, and I was just there the other day. There's a lot going on there all the time. Y'all are very busy.
Yes.
It seems like there's a new venture taking place in business all the time, but it was really cool to see. There was even like some cool Camaro, like a Camaro on the lot.
Yes, a 2020
I could see myself driving
Camaro convertible 2SS. It's for sale. Yep. Yeah, we've been having a good time with that. You'll see that at the Christmas parade. We're hoping to be driving that down the Christmas parade that's coming up.
Okay, so there's a Christmas parade. Is that going to be in Hitchcock?
Yes.
Yes. So the Hitchcock ISD Education Foundation has an annual holiday celebration. And what we do, we kick it off with a parade, and all of the campuses are represented, as well as local elected officials and local businesses. And by the way, Legacy is a great supporter of the Education Foundation. Anna serves on our board. And so we kick off the parade at City Hall. We're going to do that this year on Thursday, December the 5th. You will line up for the parade at 6 around the City Hall area, and it will travel to Texas First Bank. After that, we will go over to Crosby Middle School, and the local churches and others help us, and we serve food in the cafeteria. And then we have all the students in our district from each campus will perform. And it's a very nice holiday celebration. We also partner with Kids Dreams Matter, and we draw. And what we draw for is Kindle Fire tablets.
Cool.
And and last year we were able to give away about 110 of those. So every student present signs in with their name, and then we do a drawing, and they are the recipient right then and there. We hand them the tablet. So it puts a lot of smile on our faces, and the kids of Hitchcock. It's a great thing to witness. So that's how we kick off our holiday season, with our parade and our performances.
What kind of performances? You mentioned that, and it was kind of curious. I was like, all of the kids are performing. What can you expect? Okay.
What can you expect? Well, I am the coach for the high school cheerleaders, so we kick it off with that, and they always have a wonderful routine, very humorous and entertaining. And then we have different choirs. We'll have the band there. The younger children will sing, and some will perform. It's just an amazing time. It's what we call it our hometown holiday celebration, because we invite the community to watch all of our students. It's the only time in the whole year that the entire student population is in one place performing.
Are you a former cheerleader yourself?
Yes, I am.
All right. Did you cheer in high school?
Yes.
Did you cheer in college?
Did not.
NFL?
No.
NBA?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
Not yet.
There's
still time.
Yeah, there's still time.
We got some local teams around here, but that's cool. My wife was a cheerleader in high school, and I actually cheered 2 years because my wife was a cheerleader in high school. So I was like, yeah, I want to be on the squad. So for some stuff, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Well, my granddaughter
very hard.
Today is at Disney because she's NCAA, National Cheerleader Association, and she's an All-American cheerleader. And today she's actually in Disney. She goes to Hitchcock High School, and she's participating in their Thanksgiving parade.
That's awesome.
And she's a fourth-generation cheerleader, so we call her that she's pretty seasoned. So, a big shout-out to Tara and Hannah because they're representing Hitchcock in Florida today.
Yeah. Michelle, did you cheer?
No, I was on the drill team.
On the drill team. Which is better,
Really?
in your opinion?
Oh, which is better?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a toss-up. Because I really felt like my friends that cheered were having so much fun down there on the field, and we had to sit perfect and proper in the stands. But we definitely had a good time on the field too.
Okay.
It's like the school district. Each piece matters.
Yes.
Everything you do. If you do without the band, our band in Hitchcock just won, went to state for the first time ever.
I saw
in our
that.
State ranked. And then we have a lot of good athletes. We have NFL, NBA that's come out straight out of Hitchcock.
Mm-hmm. So there's a lot going on right now.
There's always a lot going on.
With the parade, I think that it kind of gives you that small town feel. You can get involved, have a float. It's going to be almost like a movie. That's what I think of when I think of a parade. I think of like a Hallmark movie.
Right.
And it's the real life, and it's happening in Hitchcock. When is it?
Okay, it's going to be Thursday, December the 5th. We'll line up at 6 o'clock at
All
City
right.
Hall. The parade will start at 6:30. Then it will proceed over to Crosby Middle School for the performance and for the drawings for the gifts.
If somebody wants to be in the parade, are they still able to sign up for that?
Absolutely. In fact, you don't even have to sign up. You can just show up because I know at some point people can't commit at that point, and then they find out that they can't.
I got
Right.
time.
Like they get a 2020
Camaro convertible
yeah.
needs to be in the parade.
Yeah.
and Legacy jumps in. And so,
Yep.
yes, it's you just line up. I mean, I'll have the lineup on our website. I plan to put that up soon. And we have a lot of things coming up. Let me explain a little bit about the Hitchcock ISD Education Foundation. Our Education Foundation supports our students and teachers in two ways, in a lot of ways, but in two major ways. We provide scholarships to Hitchcock seniors, and then we provide grants to teachers or even employees like transportation. And that is this time of the year, that is what we do. So all year long, we raise funds and accept donations, and we are a 501(c)(3). And what we do by raising these funds is we allow the teachers the opportunity to file these grant applications. This year we received 31 applications. We have a blind review. In other words, I remove all indicators, and I have a panel of judges that judges which ones we feel like are the most, representative of something that continue on. In other words, if your third, fourth, and fifth grade is going to benefit in a collaborative deal, then, that one gets a priority.
Yeah.
Or if it's something like to align with STEM. STEM is a major component in education these days. And so to align from right now, the Education Foundation with different grants and different scholarships that we've received along the way for our students has aligned our third and fourth, 3 and 4-year-olds, which is our Hitchcock Head Start campus, all the way through to the high school. So science and technology, and sometimes they call it STEM or STEAM, but it's science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and then the STEAM is the arts. So we support all of that through the Education Foundation. It's kind of like the Texas money and the funding, federal and even state, has dwindled, and yet when it does that, it has such an impact on the kids in our community because a lot of them are under the poverty line. We have a lot of homeless. We have a lot of mobile type students that live in, say, the RV homes and the low income housing. We have a lot of transient students that transfer in and out a lot. We even have some migrant workers. So in this part of the county, we have some of the kids that are in the most need, I would say, in all of Galveston County, for sure. And a lot of them are raised by grandparents, even great-grandparents. So with that being said, what we do at Christmas is a huge deal for these kids. But what we deal with all year long are needs like, I have one lady that likes to donate shoes. And the way this started is, our biggest shopping area are our dollar stores in Hitchcock. And she saw a teacher going in there, purchasing shoes. And what it was is the child had gotten up and the mom was still asleep, and she wore her mom's slippers to school. And so the lady was telling me about that. And so I reached out, and this one loving family has said, okay, anytime you need shoes, call me. So this week I had 4 kids that need shoes. She provides, underclothing, socks, and shoes for whichever name I give her. That that makes that child feel loved.
Yes.
I mean, to have a simple thing as a new pair of shoes. Mm-hmm. And so, I'm so thankful for just the small things. And then like Kids Dreams Matter with providing 110 Kindle Fire tablets. That's major. That's major for our Hitchcock kids. And we draw the names right there at our holiday performances, and they get a laptop, and the look on their face is such a blessing. Mm-hmm. And so another thing we do is the month of November and December, we do an annual gift drive. We call it Give the Gift of Reading annual book drive for our Hitchcock students. And I want to reiterate the fact that everything that I do in the Hitchcock ISD Education Foundation, every penny of that is turned into more dollars to support our Hitchcock kids. It doesn't go anywhere else in the county, anywhere else in the state. It stays right in Hitchcock. Anyway, so we will be accepting books the entire months of November and December at 3 locations, and they're very easy to get to. Texas First Bank, which is 8128 Highway 6. Across the street, there's Natural Groove. And then at the ISD Education Foundation, which is at the administration building in Hitchcock.
I have a question.
Okay.
I haven't been in Natural Groove. What is that?
Natural Groove is the
fabulous boutique.
Yeah, it's a gift shop, and
you
it's
need to go for Christmas for your
I thought
wife.
it was going to be like an aerobics gym, and I was like, I am down. Like, this is my Natural Groove. There's some music playing. I'm working
You
out.
can do aerobics there. I'm sure she'd be okay with that.
Yeah, go see
right.
Marcia. She will at least outfit you in something to do aerobics in.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a wonderful little boutique, and
Cool.
It's actually owned by Marcia Knapp, but she is her family's one of the original founders of Hitchcock. They're the Hinkles.
How long has Hitchcock been around? If it's been, with the founders?
A really long time. It was I'm not sure when we were
incorporated.
But we actually were a farming community, and the railroad was a big part of it, and the land was donated, and Hinkle was one of the first founding families, and all of that the real estate right there is owned by, previously owned by Marcia's family, and so she took her mother's dress shop that was a dress shop I think in the 60s and 70s and turned it into a little boutique, and it's an amazing little place. So
it's fabulous.
And her husband has been our interim superintendent, principal, coach, and still, he's on our foundation board. Mm-hmm. So they give a lot to the community, just like Legacy. I mean, we have some people in Texas First Bank that support the Education Foundation so generously. And there's many more. I mean, I can't just say those 3. I have ACU, Credit Union, and State Farm Insurance, and many, many others.
Yes.
And we actually have started a new program with our Education Foundation. We're such a small town. We were one of the only ones in Galveston County that did not have an Education Foundation. And so what we now have is a membership. And I have this cute little flyer, and it says, "Have you heard? They're depending on state funds for our education." So I have this little blonde-headed girl, and then I have 2 other little girls saying, basically, don't worry about it. The Education Foundation will help us. So, you use the...
Who is that cute little one with there?
That cute little one right there happens to be my granddaughter. But anyway, so, we have a student membership, a single membership, couples, and a family, and that's all $5 through $25. So that's not very much to support our Education Foundation. And then we have a small business and a large business. And then you have the chance to donate to the book drive or any other thing. But for $5, it adds up.
It goes a long way.
It goes a long way. I mean, we try to take that $5 and turn it into $25.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Michelle, why is it important for you to be involved with the Education Foundation and then to use your business as a drop spot? Why is that important?
It's so important. I mean, these children are our future. I mean, not to be cliche,
Right.
but they really are the future of Hitchcock and of the surrounding areas. I mean, a lot of these children are going to grow up and stay in Hitchcock or Santa Fe or the local, surrounding areas. So it's so important that we support them and that we help them to thrive in the best way that they can.
Yeah.
And something as simple as providing shoes and undergarments, that's the last thing we want these children to be worried about or thinking about. They need to be focusing on their studies and at the task at hand, and not, oh, I don't have any, I'm wearing my mother's slippers, I don't have any shoes to just attend school. It's a very, very sad situation, and we want to eradicate that. We want to make sure that everyone goes to school with a pair of shoes and undergarments. And so it's so important so that they can focus on school.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that I know I don't have to think or worry about.
Yeah.
Like my son, he has socks. He has shoes. I love shoes, so I enjoy going shopping for shoes with my son. And
when he outgrows those shoes, you don't think twice.
right.
You just go get another pair.
Mm-hmm.
I was just having this conversation with my son last night. He was looking online at the different shoes, name brand shoes. And I'm like, you need to click the sale button, first of all, because those are way too much. But it's just, you just don't even realize. You just, oh, your toes are hitting the end. Let's get you some new ones. No big deal. So you just don't realize the amount of need that is here in Hitchcock.
Basic need.
Mm-hmm.
Need like food. And I'll talk about that a minute, then I'll let Michelle describe the event that she's assisting with. But in Hitchcock, all of our students can receive free lunches, free breakfast, free lunch, and now we're doing a take-home meal because a lot of them go home to empty houses. And like Michelle said, unless you've seen the need in our town, you do not know what it's like. I've had people look at me and say, Monica, do you really think that kids do not have food? I said, no, I don't think it. I know it. I've been in these homes at holiday season and delivered toys and delivered turkeys and that kind of thing. And I know that they do not have food. I know that kids sleep on the floor. There's this thing with the homeless population where they call it, I think, sofa surfing, where a kid may not know where they're living with aunt or grandmother, and they call it sofa surfing because they live in one house one week, one house the next week. A lot of times the parents are missing or they have moved away and the child wants to finish their 12th grade and they stay with an aunt or a friend. Or that happens a lot in our community. It probably happens a lot in many communities, but it impacts Hitchcock because we do tend to have the lower income children in our school district.
Mm-hmm.
And the Education Foundation is so important because we can, state funding only goes so far. So what we can do with the Education Foundation is the teachers write the grants, and we do this thing called the PAWS, because it's Hitchcock Bulldogs, and we have PAWS, Paws Patrol Parade. We will be having that Friday morning, and a lot of the directors and local business people will get on a bus. We go to each campus that's receiving one of the grants, and we take the we take the drum line. We act like cheerleaders. Mm-hmm. We take palms and balloons, and we make as much noise as we can walking down the hallway. And the kids come out and look, and then we knock on the door and say, "Hello, Michelle. You've won a grant for $1,500." And we pretend we're like,
yeah.
Anyway, it's a big deal. We have that on Friday morning. And we will be distributing our grants, and it's an amazing time because at that point we may not be able to take 100 kids to the Natural Science Museum in Houston, but we can bring that to them because they have a bus that comes in, and we have funded that several years. It's amazing. They walk on the bus and they feel like they're inside the museum, or we can pay for these field trips, or we can pay for innovative type learning things like special seating. Sometimes that's a trend right now. Instead of sitting up straight in a desk, you may have a couple of kids that say, hey, I need to sit, in some other kind of seating to touch that learning style for each child. So we also help our community our main focus in Hitchcock is children, 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 and teachers. But like Michelle's going to explain to you, something that we are partnering with is what we're doing, what Michelle's in charge of on Saturday.
I don't know about in charge, but
Running
I am
the show.
helping.
You're in charge as of right now. It's been proclaimed.
Right
You're
now,
in charge.
she's going to tell us about it.
So, so on Saturday, we are going to be feeding 114 children and parents, so 26 families total. We are going to be giving them a hot plate as well as enough groceries for them to have a beautiful Thanksgiving dinner of their own. So everyone involved has spent a lot of time and energy in gathering all the items and putting them all together. But we really just wanted to provide as many as we could, but 26 families was the most that we could do right now. What we're hoping next year, maybe we can double that or increase that. So for now, on Saturday, we're going to be feeding 114 and giving them a box or bags of food to go home with.
That's going to be like Thanksgiving style food?
Yeah.
Like the turkey?
Oh, yeah.
Everything.
Dressing, everything. So, yeah, you don't realize how expensive that is as well. So another thing we just take for granted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're hoping to be able to bring them a little bit of happiness and thankfulness.
Yeah.
And holiday cheer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's all about. I mean, Hitchcock really is a unique community. We're a larger landmass, and we're kind of spread from this side of Santa Fe all the way to Bio Vista, and then north and south up and down 2004. So we are at the intersection of 2004 and Highway 6 for the most part. But it's a spread community, but we're not heavily populated. So our school district is not as funded as other districts that are nearby because we don't have that many businesses in our town.
Yeah, I know that there is a portion of Lamarck, like where we're at. If you live in Lamarck, like Delaney Cove, you're zoned to Hitchcock ISD.
Exactly. Your city is zoned different than your school district.
Yeah.
School district does incorporate Delaney Cove, Saltgrass. That's the reason for our recent growth in our schools. We recently built and passed a bond. I say recently, but in the last 10 years, we built a new high school, a new elementary school, and at one time we had around 600 and something. Well, I think 800 students. Now we have 1,600.
Wow!
So we have doubled in a decade. We the school board actually saw and had a vision that we better start building, and because before Delaney Cove started building, it was kind of like a hayfield. And then now it's heavily populated. And we've probably received 500 students. Mm-hmm. And, we have very talented kids in Hitchcock. We do dual credit. We do collegiate high school. And our kids get on the bus and they travel to the college and they get college credit. And Hitchcock was one of the first to start supporting that. And College of the Mainland is just a giant supporter. So a lot of our kids, not a lot, but many of our seniors, all of them have the opportunity to graduate with an associate's degree from College of the Mainland 3 days or 4 days before they graduate high school. And then we have a very active FFA. We are, contenders with the Galveston County State Rodeo, Galveston County Fair and Rodeo. We show a lot of animals. And so we're a well-rounded little community as far as what we do for our students. But it takes funding. It takes funding for all of these things. And one of the grants that was written was to actually upgrade the FFA barn because so many students are pursuing that, even a lot of our girls. Our basketball team, we're state ranked. Our track, we have a lot of our football. We have exceptional athletes, and we are trying to. We have a new superintendent. The former superintendent had grown up here, graduated from Hitchcock, taught at Hitchcock, and became the superintendent. So it's a time of change for Hitchcock. But I think we're moving in the right direction. But everything is funding. And if you'll let me, I would like to give out our information. So I am Monica Cantrell, the executive director of Hitchcock ISD Education Foundation. My office is located in the administration building of Hitchcock Independent School District. And I would say exactly where it is, but it depends on where you're from. But it could be the old high school, but it's the current administration building. It's the 2-story on Neville. And I say that because we make it so easy to get to the Education Foundation website. If you would just type in Hitchcock ISD, one of our city commissioners is also our tech guy, and just one of the most valuable employees that we have. So Chris has a link right there, and you type in Hitchcock ISD, you click on the tab, and it'll take you straight to the Education Foundation. We are 501c3. We have an amazing treasurer that notes every penny, and you get a statement, and it's tax deductible. So everything you give to this district through the Education Foundation, I promise, we turn it around many, many, many times because we have such amazing volunteers, like what they're doing with the Thanksgiving dinners on Saturday. And there's one more thing that I would like to mention, and we partner hand in hand with everything. But on Saturday, December the 7th, we're going to have our first annual Santa Cop Toy Drive. And so we will have Hitchcock police officers and Hitchcock ISD police officers out there from 12 to 2 at Texas First Bank. And so we kick off the whole week when we come back from Thanksgiving. On that Thursday, we have our parade and our performance. And then on that Saturday, we have a toy drive. All of those toys will be given right back to Hitchcock ISD.
What kind of toys are you all looking for?
We are looking for anything.
Any kind of toys?
Any kind of toy. I mean, any age range. And you never know what you need or who needs it. But our police officers are very much in touch with our community and our families and students in need. So we feel like they will be the ones that will distribute them this year.
Okay, and that'll be like an unwrapped toy so y'all can see appropriately where it goes and everything else.
And the books. I mean, in Hitchcock, we definitely believe in handing a child a book to take home because some of these kids, like you were saying earlier, they may live in group homes or that kind of thing, and having something of their own. After the flood, the Education Foundation, we worked really hard, but one of the things that was most effective is that we gave them a book and a blanket and a backpack full of supplies, and they were able to take that book home. Now, a lot of our kids were living in motel type situations, multi-families living together. So for them to be able, and what if you didn't have enough internet connections or chargers? They didn't have electronics, but we gave them books, we gave them a blanket, and I'll never forget, we were handing one child a blanket, and we allowed them to come up and pick, and she stood there, and she wouldn't take it, and we're like, why? And she goes, because my sister needs one. Oh, my goodness, you want to give her 20.
Yeah.
But it's just that feeling of love and warmth and the feeling of, like you said, of community, that our community supports our kids. I mean, our business people support them. We as grandparents and parents support them. And that's important for them to know. Hey, we care about you. We expect you to succeed. And anything we can do academically, we want to do that for our kids. We want to expose them. Your kids probably have seen the Grand Canyon. Our kids have seen pictures of the Grand Canyon. So we want to be able to maybe take them to the IMAX where they show the Grand Canyon in 3D or something. So that's the kind of visualization that the Education Foundation has for helping these students be able to know that the world is larger than Galveston County.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Is there anything else y'all would like to share?
I don't think so.
We covered a lot, but I feel like we could have talked for the whole hour.
Yeah.
You think so?
Probably 2 hours.
Probably could have.
Maybe the whole day.
Maybe.
Hey, one thing that I remember about Hitchcock whenever I was young is that the school was year-round at one point.
We were.
It was like 20 years ago or so, but I remember it just weirded me out. I was like, why would you want to go to school year-round? But I know it was strategic breaks and everything, but it was a small school, and I guess it worked for the time, but I just remember that.
It did. Actually, I worked for the school district in the 90s when we did that, and it was our superintendent's vision that we go year-round because at that point it was like you go 9 weeks, you get 2 weeks, 9 weeks, 3 weeks, 9 weeks, 2 weeks, 9 weeks, 4 weeks. And that actually works really well for the employees because you're able to run the report cards and catch up, and then we would have 1 week off. Yeah, I thought it worked out well, but I mean, I was a fan, and but my kid's not as much.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, Michelle, thank you so much. Can you tell us about Legacy? Like, where y'all located? What do y'all offer? One more time.
Well, we are on 2004, 7887 FM 2004 in Hitchcock. We're right next to the Blimp base, if you know where that is. And we offer collision service. So if you get in a little fender bender or a major wreck, we are here to help you.
All right. Thank you, Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Monica, for coming in.
Certainly.
And anything else I can do or help or share, don't hesitate to let me know, and I'll do it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. We're going to take a quick break on the FM. We're going to keep it going on Facebook. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. Cough it out. Now's the time.
Oh my gosh. I was like, I'm dying.
Thank y'all.
That tickle is like there.
Yeah. The tickle is real.
That was, you did fabulous.
You did great.
I forgot to mention a lot of things to a lot of people. But
Monica, you did so good. I'm so impressed. You said it all. You covered.
You did too.
You covered all of it. I was just your wingman.
Yes. It was good. Y'all did great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And then if y'all don't mind, could y'all be like, Anthony, or just like hold the door open and I'm going to yell at Anthony, come in.
Who's he with?
There's a gentleman, he does some carpentry and woodworking, and this is going to be my first time to meet him. So it'll be, yeah.
Anthony. Ready?
Yes. Anthony, come in.
Anthony.
I said, just hold the door open. I said, and yell at him. I was like, I'll do it myself. Thank you. That's my glasses case. What's up? How's it going?
Hi, how are you?
What's your name?
Bobby Miller.
Bobby Miller.
He's super nervous, bro.
Don't be nervous.
Not anymore. I've been talking him up with Anthony outside, warming up.
That's how you ease it up. Anthony is the easer. Y'all doing good?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So we're on Facebook, hanging out. We'll chat for a bit, and then we can switch it over to the FM as well, and keep it going. Bobby, what's the name of your business?
Benchmark Woodworking and Renovations.
Benchmark. How'd you come up with that name?
So I kind of stole it, but it's a Maryland name, and there's a wood shop in Maryland. I always liked the name, and then when I moved to Texas, I was like, okay, I'll try that out here, and it worked. And Benchmark, it's like setting the highest. That's the highest standard you can make. So
you're from Maryland?
Yeah, Baltimore originally. Oh, unfortunately. I mean, it's not like a Yankee thing or anything. It's not New York. It's like a O or
So I've been to Maryland one time, into Baltimore.
Right.
It was cool.
It was cool. It's not bad. I mean, there's a lot to do. Texas is definitely better. I mean,
in your opinion, what makes it better? Is like the weather or people?
Yeah, there's no snow here. That's probably like the first thing everybody says. They don't have to shovel snow. And then I'd say just the economy here is completely different. It's easier to work. It's not to say less regulated, but it is less regulated, and they let you do your thing. There should probably be more regulation, but it's easy to start your own business. It's easy to start your own business. That's what I love about Texas.
Yeah. And, when you say that, that's what I love about Texas.
Chevy.
Is it Chevy?
Yeah.
I feel like there's Dairy Queen, like everybody.
No, you know what? It may have been Dairy Queen.
Yeah, DQ. That's what I love about Texas.
Yeah, I think it is.
I
You can't ring that over in Baltimore, bro.
No. Do they make like a Baltimore Ford? Like it's the Baltimore edition.
No,
Ford.
but when I saw like the
tires.
Texas. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So
Ford
I've
is
seen
the best
that.
in Baltimore. They don't have that, maybe.
No, built Ford tough.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. No, Texas is cool. I grew up here, so I appreciate it. But I have been to Baltimore. It was nice. I just drove through. Well, I have a background in music, so I played a show there, and then we were all like on the way to New York or somewhere like that to play again, and then in Boston.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
that was a long time ago.
Boo, Boston.
They have a big music scene in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah. What's interesting is like those states are compared to Texas like pretty small. So it's like
right.
I fall asleep. I wake up and I'm in
Exactly.
another state,
Yeah.
and it's snowing. You know, it's cold or something
You're in
weird's
the
going on.
mountains.
So when did you move down this way?
So 2015, and it was quick. So like I moved here, and I tried to find some work, and it wasn't really happening. I was working, but it wasn't what I wanted to do, or I wasn't being paid as much as I wanted to be paid. So I just took a chance and stepped outside of my box, and I went and walked in a couple offices, met a couple good people, and it started all of it started right there, you know.
Yeah.
So it happened a lot faster than I thought it would.
Yeah.
So
How did you meet this guy?
I got this story.
okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, at the old building, the old store.
Yeah.
I was checking him and one of his friends in at the time, and they were buying a membership for the range, and I was filling out their paperwork, and I was like,
I like how you didn't say the name at the old building, the old store. It's like, now there's only one store.
Yes, sir.
The new store.
The
but
gun vault.
the gun vault.
The gun
Of
vault.
Texas.
Check them
He
out.
was actually my first customer.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I started looking at the address. I was like, man, that address is pretty close to my house. Where do you live? And he was like, oh, I live on this side of the shop or next to the big shop. I was like, that's weird because I live next to the big shop. Remember,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a lot of land in between us. And come to find out, he was my neighbor. Had no idea.
Crazy.
That's cool.
That's how we met.
Small town.
So you're
Yeah.
like checking the IDs, doing all that, and it's like I'm trying to tag you. So it's the gun vault, right? I know I like it on Facebook, but sometimes it's always hard to.
Yeah, the gun vault.
Do you know you're at
The gun vault TX.
the gun vault? And check it out. I'm having issues finding it, but that's just because of my media stream is always kind of coconuts when I put it on the spot. But let's go ahead and switch it on the FM. We'll keep it going. Here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Right now it's 10:06 on a Thursday morning. Thanksgiving sneaking up upon us. I'm already hungry thinking about it, but I'm going to try and shift my focus. We have some guests hanging out. Got Mr. Anthony Macaluso of the Gun Vault fame,
Yep.
of Anthony Macaluso Realty,
Yep.
and also Rockin' Rivers Bounce Houses,
Yep.
Party Supplies.
That's it.
How you doing?
Good.
You brought a friend with you.
I did.
How's it going? What's your name, and can you share what you got going on?
Yes, sir. I'm Bobby Miller with Benchmark Woodworking and Renovations.
Whenever it comes to the stuff that you do, what can you do? Because I think of woodworking, and I'm thinking like cabinets and then like a 6-story treehouse.
He does everything, dude.
Right.
He's super, super talented. I know from experience. I've seen his work. He's done work at my house. He's done work at friends' houses. So
Yeah.
I'll let him tell you, but
Cool.
he's amazing.
Thank
Cool.
you. So when you hear Benchmark Woodworking and Renovations, like it's basically a renovation company with an emphasis in woodworking. So basically, I can do all your renovations and build your cabinets and do all the woodworking and everything. So it's all custom.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's custom, either done on site or in a shop and brought to your house.
Yeah. Whenever I hear the word custom, a couple things come to mind. Like me, like over the top, like I want this like super custom, and then sometimes the price can get up there.
Yeah, and you hear custom, and that was another thing that I wanted to talk about today. Sometimes custom, I mean, it's built for a space, but it doesn't. Don't be afraid of the word custom. That doesn't mean money.
Yeah.
You know? It just means it's built for your house,
Yeah.
specifically for your needs.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you can buy a piece of furniture that costs way more than anything that I would build for you, you know? So you have to compare sometimes.
So like furniture wise, what have you built or what have you worked on lately?
So a lot of times I do built-in closets.
Mhm.
Dressers are a big part of that. I can do a dresser. I mean, the dresser in a built-in closet would just be a standard dresser that I built, slid into a closet, and then the built-in goes around it, like the rod and shelves and all that stuff, and fixed shelving, adjustable shelving. That's all done on site. Dresser is a piece of furniture that I would build in my shop and bring to the job site and install built-in, and everything else is built in around it.
So I saw a Christmas list that my son worked on at school in a 6-story treehouse. I'm not joking. He put that in the Christmas list, and I'm thinking that's like the easiest
I've
thing on
been
the
to
list.
your house, and
No trees tall enough?
tree-
there's the tree is thin, bro. So yeah, that's not gonna happen at all.
Yeah, but that's probably the most realistic thing on the list that he would get because it was like a Lamborghini, and I was like, "You want a
yeah.
Lamborghini poster?
Yeah, because I'll get
Right.
that for you, son.
Done,
Amazon.
done. Lamborghini poster." It was just
Yep.
I was like, "Where?" I asked him about it because they one of the teachers like took a picture of it and sent it, and I was just like, "Whose kid is this? Like,
Yeah,
what
that
does
kid
he
should
think
be
I'm
checked.
doing?" Yeah,
Oh, that's my son. Sorry.
Wow.
Don't check him.
So, okay, so here's a question on our Facebook. This is from Ms. Jude Carricker, and she wants to know, hey, where are you located? Benchmark Woodworking, where are you located, and where do you service?
So I am in League City. I started off in Santa Fe, and I service basically from Friendswood. I'll go into Friendswood and cross over to KHEA, cross over 45, and then I'll go down 45. I try to stay out of, like, up in Houston,
Yeah.
but I'll go down to Galveston. So basically, I'm not sure, like, if you can hear the radio station right now. I'm probably servicing.
You're in the area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
And where did you learn? Where did you find that you were good at this? You had a passion for this?
Well, I didn't actually learn that I was good at it until people started telling me I was good at it.
Yeah.
You know? So I was always the one fixing things in the household. I was raised by a single mother, so I was always doing all the handyman stuff around the house, fixing like the teachers' chairs and stuff in school. So people would always say, "Man, you should be a woodworker. You should be a woodworker." And I'm like, "No, I don't really know what I want to be." I did like car audio installation for a while because it was like the cool thing to get into, and I ended up doing speaker boxes and stuff. And they're like, "Man, you should be a woodworker. You should be a woodworker." So I got tired of what I was doing, joined the Army, got out of the Army, and I was like, "Man, I want to be a woodworker." So I started in a cabinet shop in Baltimore, and I just moved up in the ranks or whatever. They sent me like training for CNC machining and like an AutoCAD program to design the cabinets and everything.
Cool.
And then after that, I worked at another cabinet shop, and after that, I worked at a high-end renovation company because on the side at nights or in the evenings, I was doing renovations. So I'd build cabinets during the day or machine cabinets during the day for this company. And then on the side, I'd go home and work at night doing bathroom remodels for friends and family and other referrals, you know. So when I moved to Texas, there were no huge cabinet shops that I could go to. There were no huge remodeling companies that I could go to. So I just basically started my own thing, and there's kind of nothing like it around here where there's like one guy that does it all.
Yeah, it's
Like
just you.
Yeah, and I'll tile the shower, do all the cabinetry. I like to make sure everything's waterproofed and tight and do it the right way, you know what I'm saying? And if you have it's hard to watch over other people when they come in, you know, if you sub all that stuff out, you have to have somebody on site all the time unless you can absolutely, totally trust their system and the way they do things.
Yeah.
So I just like to be very hands-on and make sure that it has like the finishing touch, you know?
Yeah. Does that ever get tricky as far as taking on new work?
It does.
Yeah, because it's like, well, I'm going to finish this job, or like let me hop between, or figure it out that scheduling.
It does, and it's getting to be that time to grow where I step out of that position and I start hiring trusted subcontractors and everything. I'll probably always build the cabinets just because that's how I am. I build my cabinets, you know. I know really good tile guys. I know really good concrete guys, plumbers, electricians, all that stuff. So you have to sub out plumbing and electrical for certain things anyway. But I try to do everything else myself. And like you said, it becomes overwhelming and you have to move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
So
Anthony, if you had anything new done to your house or
He's doing the
woodworking wise, right now you're having your kitchen done?
He's not yet. The wife wants it done. He's got all the drawings and stuff that we want.
right.
What are you having done though? Like cabinets?
Everything.
Well, he has the floor in the kitchen
Yeah.
already.
He's
and-
going to be building cabinets, uppers, lowers, knocking down the wall, all that good jazz.
Cool.
We had the house was built in the 80s. It was one of those island 80s bar looking thing. He tore that out for us and redid the wall there, and it looked amazing.
It was a really fancy island.
It was awful. It was the worst thing in the world, but it's fixed and pretty.
That's
Right.
cool.
He did had a friend that needed his wife quilts, so they had a garage, and they were like, "Oh, we want to close this garage in." He closed it in, and you would never known there was a garage.
Is
it's amazing looking.
And it's all windstorm certified and everything. I don't
Yeah.
skip anything. Like, you're not going to have your insurance company come back and be like, oh,
You can't cover that.
Yeah, like,
Oops.
they'll
Yeah.
make you tear it out.
Because you did AC and everything in there, right?
Correct, yeah. And
Yeah,
it was
it
all,
looked
all
legit.
permitted and everything.
Real
so.
nice doors. He did a good job.
Cool. Anthony, you are in real estate as well.
Yep.
Whenever it comes to custom pieces or even like crown molding or baseboards or there's all kinds of stuff you can do. What does that do to the value of your house?
Definitely raises it. Yeah,
Little things like that.
Little things will raise the value. Not a ton. Go ahead.
If you walk into Anthony's house, it was probably a builder grade house back in whatever
87.
87, whenever it was built. Had who knows what kind of floor? What kind of floor was in there?
When we bought the house, it had roll floor.
Like a roll, like a vinyl roll.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And it was
So-
beautiful. So
Oh, and
nice.
stick it on.
If you walk in his house right now, it's the original cabinets, I think, right?
Yep.
Okay, so if you walk in his house right now, just the tile floor and a good coat of paint on the walls and everything cleaned up, it looks like a brand new house.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
It better. Jesus. That was like he was saying, I didn't know him when I moved in and or when we bought the house, and we had a contractor come out and he tried to do everything himself, and it went over budget, it went over time. It was the worst experience ever. So if you have somebody you trust, which I know Bob, I would use him for that stuff all day, because Jesus, it's bad.
Yeah.
If you get somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, it's awful.
I can't say I've never gone over on time, but I try not to go. I don't go over on budget. I'll give you a pretty a good estimate of what it's going to be.
Even if you have to eat it at times, and this is like, man, I ran
yeah,
into
and
this.
I have eaten it at times, yeah, for sure. And it's been like you either lose a client or you lose a few $100s,
Yeah.
And I'd rather lose a few
I would
$100s.
much rather been a few hundred.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been beautiful. But I mean, it's
in real estate, it's different. I
yeah,
guess.
no, I'm talking personal at that point.
Okay.
It takes somebody to. I mean, they have to have all their ducks in a row. They have to know how to do everything, or like you said, trust somebody. And my contractor didn't have anybody. He wasn't from this area, so he just tried to do everything himself. And I was subbing out like plumbing and electrical, and which was okay because I knew those guys. But everything had to be touched again. And then finally, I just fired him, and everything's finished in our house except some small
Like it's
touches.
like finished, quote unquote.
Right.
Well,
It looks great.
there's some
Nicer than my house.
It doesn't
I mean,
work.
there's
It
some
looks
nail
good.
heads. No. The house now, from when we bought it, it's 200 times better. Just looks nicer. We updated it, put new everything other than kitchen. It's the only thing we didn't touch. We added on to the house, put another master suite. So, I mean, there was a lot of work the guy had to do. It was just, he was one man, and he took his sweet time.
Yeah.
We were supposed to move in like 2 months, and it took us 6.
Whenever you're trying to, if you're doing it because, hey, I want to live in a nice house, and you make some upgrades, it's a bit of an investment.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to live in it for a certain amount of time before it's like, hey, I'm going to get my money back out if I
So
sell it?
there is it's a capital gains tax. I think it's a year or two. I can't. You put me on the spot there.
Sorry.
It may be 2 years, but if you turn around like flippers, if you turn around and flip it, you're not going to get hit with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is my homestead. I don't plan on leaving anytime soon.
You're not flipping it. You're living in it.
No, I'm definitely living in it.
But of course, you want to have that equity. And sometimes, I've watched, Fixer Upper.
Yeah.
And I don't know, they seem like legit people, and they're pretty
Right.
close. But it's always like, well, you bought this house for $45,000. You put $200,000, and you instantly have this equity. It's like, I could sell this house right now for $1 million, not $1 million, but you know what I mean. And it's like, oh, cool.
Yeah, doing little stuff like that doesn't add a ton of value. It does add value to it, but like we added a whole nother master suite. So you've got now, instead of 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, you have 4 bedrooms, 3 bath.
yeah.
That adds value there. But if you go and change your toilets and that's it,
Gold. But if you put gold toilets in like 24 karat,
gold's coming back.
It is.
It's so sad.
let's go.
It's actually brass.
It's ugly is what it is.
It's gold
polished
coated
brass.
Okay.
No,
He
polished
can't-
brass.
He can't say it's ugly, but I'm saying it.
It looks good in
See,
some
he has to
situations.
say that.
If the
Yeah.
customer wants it, it looks amazing.
Absolutely.
But would you have it in your house? Absolutely not. No.
It's all
It
personal
boggles my
preference.
mind. I can say it because I'm not doing any decorating. You don't want me to decorate your house, but yeah, I still like the regular stainless. I think stainless is still nice and pretty.
Brush nickel.
It's trends,
nickels.
trends. You were talking about how moving into the house, when it was built, there was vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
Vinyl's it's coming back. Like I went and did a shine on Lamarck at a flooring place, and they were
Exactly.
talking about as far as cleanup.
Exactly.
If you're in a
It's
place that
much
gets
easier.
water, hey, this is good to go. Like
Like
they have
the
this
plank
special flooring.
flooring.
Yeah.
there's no kind of. So we went with ceramic. So there's obviously no give. But if you have like the vinyl planks, you can put that padding underneath it, and it's still a little give. Carpet, you have the padding. This was like glued to the floor, vinyl. It was,
like the
it was
old
so bad.
linoleum vinyl.
And if you knew the time it took for us to pull that stuff up, bro,
There's tools for that.
we had the tools. Like we had the scrapers. We ended up having propane tanks. We would get propane tanks and just burn it so the glue would melt.
I was gonna joke and say that you just like try and burn it off, and you're
We
like,
did.
yes.
Ceilings are yellow
That's
afterwards.
exactly what we had to repaint the ceilings anyway, so it was good.
Wow. You did it? Did you do it yourself? You
A
were
lot
doing
of it, yeah.
Yeah. That's
It was miserable.
sounds like my childhood. So my dad, he's pretty crafty. I don't know. That's just the way dads are at times. It's just like, Dad, how do you know how to do
Are
this?
you crafty?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, there you go.
And so my son will never have that issue like me outside, like I'm working on the car, changing my own oil. I don't know what I'm doing.
He's like,
I
I'll
help my
drive
dad.
it. I'll be happy to drive it to the store for you.
Exactly. I saw a meme, and it was of what I'll call Baby Yoda. I don't know if y'all are on Disney Plus, and it's him like
Not
holding
me,
a
not
flashlight,
yet, no.
crying, and it says that this was, whenever you're trying to help your dad fix the car or learn how to fix the car, and all you ended up doing was getting yelled at and
'Cause you're not
yelled
holding
at and hold a
the right spot.
flashlight. It was hilarious, and I was like, man.
That's my life.
I've been there, but just like, hey, help peel this, because we had our house got flooded when I was young, and then whenever we moved to Lamarck, hey, the house was built in like the 60s or something like that, so like peeling wallpaper, the floor. I'm like 11 or 12, prime to hold a tool and do whatever we needed to do, but I didn't retain it. I guess I don't know.
Some people do, some people don't.
Yeah,
I did. I mean, I'm
you're pretty crafty. I'll say.
very crafty.
Yeah,
I can't woodwork. Trust me, I've tried to cut a board straight. Not pretty.
yeah. My
So-
dad, I had him come over because we put some wood planks in my attic, so that way you can walk around and store some stuff. But that's him. He's like, yeah, we'll do. Brought all his power tools, but my dad, he'll measure, but not like measure. I've worked with people that are like meticulous. Like
Yeah.
this has to be perfect. My dad's kind of like, he has this really cool tool where it does a powder and you stretch it down. He's like, "Pow." He's like, yeah, that's good.
fine.
Let's go.
Sculpturing, yeah.
Yeah.
That's for like a rough carpenter.
Yeah.
And it is actually called rough carpentry, so and that's usually framing and like sheeting the outside of the house. Like they always use chalk boxes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But whenever it's something inside, custom made for this, you're gonna measure twice and
Right. Measure twice, cut. I don't know
me.
how
I
many
just
times do
gotta
we need
do
to
my-
cut. So I try to cut it a little bit bigger on the first time sometimes and then squeeze it in. So sometimes you do have to cut twice.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, normally, like if it's only an inch that I need to cut off, I end up having to go buy a new 2x4.
Yeah.
It's like this much I cut. I'm like, oh, Anthony, you did it again.
I goofed.
See, and my dad and my uncles and all them, they build houses. That's what, like we have where we go hunting, there's a house there. They've built that. They've built my old house we lived in, they built it from the floor up. I can't cut a 2x4, guys. I'm going to admit it to you. I've got a nice saw. I got lots of nice tools.
Got the tools.
Yeah.
Right.
Man. Well, sometimes when you have someone that's really good at it, you just lean on them and you're
That's
like,
what I
well,
do.
you're much better than me, so you're going
We're
to do
about
this.
to start building a chicken coop.
Really?
It's my dad and my uncle.
Yeah.
So
You have chickens? Do you currently have chickens or are you getting
no,
chickens?
so we had the chicken coop. We had lots of chickens. Gave them to Christopher, my brother. Then I think something ate them, which was really sad. Rest in peace, chickens. But we tore it down because I built a pond in the backyard, or dug a pond in the backyard. Can't really build a pond. Can't cut that and then remeasure. So we're building another one because my wife wants more chickens.
Get chickens, get the eggs.
That's what we use them, and we may eat them too.
I was going to ask, do you eat them?
You do?
Well, either you are or whatever ate Chris's chickens is going to come and eat yours too.
Yeah.
I think everyone that has chickens always gives away free eggs. I don't think you can
We
eat
did.
all of the
Yeah,
eggs.
we did. I mean, just because you can't, we would get, I think we had like 15 chickens or whatever. So you would eat as much as you can. And then
Yeah.
I would just, whoever out there up on Facebook, hey, who wants chicken? Who wants eggs?
I want some eggs. Hey, here's a question. This is from Christine. Good morning, Christine. Thanks
Hi,
for
Christine.
taking the time to listen. She said, hey, I have hardwood floors that need help. Can
Right.
we get your info? How can somebody get a hold of you?
Okay, so my phone number is 832-285-4051, And if you want to check out my Facebook page, it's Benchmark TX.
All right, so Benchmark TX. Do you prefer any way to get a hold of?
You can call or text me. If you call me and it's busy, it's probably because I'm on a job site working. So feel free to text me.
Does your phone ring busy like the old phones?
No.
Oh, okay. I'd be like, that's legit.
I kind of wish, because then I wouldn't have to like listen to it ring through.
He comes out with a
I hate sending people to voicemail, but
Yeah. Is there anything that you will not do? Something that you're like, well, that's not. I don't do that.
I try to sub out all the paint. If it's a big paint job, I sub that out. I know a great
Nobody
painter.
likes to paint.
But like wood floors, you'd be good to go.
Wood floors, it depends on what it is. If they're glued down, I mean, there's guys that are less expensive than me that do wood floors. They're probably the ones to go with on a wood floor project.
Mm-hmm.
If it's like vinyl planking or something like that, like we were talking about earlier, like the new vinyl flooring, it's solid vinyl through and through. It's a great product. Doesn't have to be glued down. The initial cost of it is kind of more expensive than like a laminate floor, your standard laminate floor, which may have wood products in it that could expand or contract when they get wet. But the value of your floor after that, and like dogs and cats can't scratch it. It's super hard, like mar resistant, chemical resistant. Like it's a great floor. There's no grout to get stained. So that's what a lot of people are going with now.
Yeah, my parents redid their entire house 2 or 3 years ago. It was right before Harvey, unfortunately, and it like finished,
Right.
but nothing. They were okay.
To answer your question, it's all situational. Like I'll come look at your floor and give you my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something I can do, yes. If it's something that someone else can do for a lot less money, I'd probably just recommend that.
Send them that way.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's honest. It's better to have a friend. I've found that, and that you trust, that will be honest with you. So that way, hey, if I ever want to do something, I know I'm calling Anthony because I know him,
Right.
and I already know what I'm going to do. Like if I'm in a situation where I get stranded on the side of the road, I know who I'm going to call. Or
Exactly.
so it's pretty good to have somebody.
That's another thing. Like with Anthony, it's a trusted name. You hear Anthony Macaluso, and it's just a name. Like I told him that the other day. I mean,
It depends on who you ask.
That's true.
I mean,
If
you
you
grow
ask
out
my mom, I'm pretty not trustworthy.
the people that knew you as a child, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, for real, I mean, he's a trustworthy dude, and other trustworthy people tend to be drawn to people alike.
Yeah.
So,
That's true.
Word. Thank you.
Right now it's 1027. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. I'm Gardy, hanging out with Bobby, hanging out with Anthony. We're talking about Benchmark Woodworking. We're also talking about all of the stuff that Anthony has going on. Anthony, let the people know, if you were, I don't know, like what do you have going on right now? And if you were to start a new business, what would it be?
I'm never starting another business. It's crazy talk.
Yes.
Oh,
I got
goodness.
breaking news. No breaking news.
So what businesses do you currently have?
We've got a gun store, the Gun Vault of Texas. We have bounce houses and water slides, Rockin' Rivers Bounce House and Water Slides. Or what is our name? Rockin' Rivers Bounce House and Party Supplies. That's who we are.
Yes.
That's it.
And then
His-
real estate.
River owns it, so it's
River does own it. I
That's the
pray
boss.
one day that River will just take it over. He's a little young now, but it will happen.
Then he'll start you'll have time to start another business.
Yeah, right on. Why not?
If you were to start another business, I know you probably have thought of at least like 5. Like, what would it be?
Breakfast delivery services.
Really?
That's it.
Interesting.
Yep.
okay.
I need somebody.
What's on
to
the
do it.
menu? Oh, so you're thinking like you're like in bed and you're like, man, I want breakfast. I bet there's millions of people out there that are in the exact same situation I'm in.
Tell me I'm wrong.
So do they have to come in and like bring it to you in your pajamas and stuff, or do you
I'd be-
answer the
if that's-
door?
If that's what your dress code would be like.
That's extra,
deliver
but
with-
yes.
with pajamas. That's how we deliver.
They have a key, like in everything. Like, here you go, your breakfast is served, and they just like
Right.
sneak out. Don't wake me up.
Yeah.
That's on
No,
the
I think that's breakfast. I would do breakfast and desserts.
breakfast and dessert delivery.
Yep. Nothing else.
But like, what are the hours of operation? 24 hours?
Nah. I don't know. I haven't thought that much into it.
So you're open like probably like 6 to 9:30 a.m.
How many people eat breakfast for dinner?
A lot
do.
of people
We
do.
do a ton.
Yeah.
So
I was talking to who was I talking to yesterday? Oh, it was the League City Lions, and they are doing an event. I think it's this Saturday where they are hosting breakfast for dinner to the
Genius.
community.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love bacon at night?
I know, and it's
I like
not
bacon
that
all the time.
expensive. It's a pretty cheap meal.
I'm not opening it up, by the way. So
Well,
It's not happening.
when River takes over Rockin' River's Bounce House Party Supplies, you will
I'm
have all
retiring.
kinds of time.
I'm retiring.
You're not gonna want. You can't retire.
I'm ready.
You're not ready to retire.
Boy.
You're gonna get bored. What would you do if you were retired?
Not work so much.
Imagine how many breakfasts you could fit in the back of that truck.
That's true. Yeah, that's good thinking. Imagine the gas mileage. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. No, that's what I would open.
But you're also a fan of cars. I could see you opening
I am.
like I'm gonna have a dealership.
I was in the car business already.
Mhm.
Already
Yeah.
done it. Been there. Why open?
Ready to come back. You've been in the
Yeah.
gun business. Now you have your own.
Right? Yeah.
That's a love. That's definitely a passion.
You don't love cars?
You should flip cars.
Sounds dangerous.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not roll cars. I mean, like.
So my dad did. He was a stunt man for 30 years.
Really?
That's awesome.
Is that in your blood? Is that
That
is that
is
in the
not
word?
not in my blood. I don't like. I'm okay with pain, but I mean, I see he's. I don't know how old my dad is. I would say in his 60s probably, and he walks like he's in his 90s. I feel bad
Oh,
for
man.
him.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is.
Hey, this past weekend, speaking of flipping and doing stunts, we were at UPW,
Yes.
and Rockin' Rivers was a sponsor
We
of the
were.
wrestling event at
Love
Santa Fe.
UPW.
It went good, didn't
It
it?
did.
How do you think Chevy? How did he do?
No. So I was actually holding pictures hostage. He was very angry with me after the event. So he took some pictures when we were out at 3 Acres, 2 months ago? And I was like, I've been telling him, Chev, send me these pictures. Send me these pictures. All right, bro, I'll get them to you. Never got them to me. I get a picture. I sent him a little snap of one.
Of him in the ring?
And he was
Yeah.
like, man, you got any more? I was like, I've got a lot more. I had like 11. I was like, but I will not send you any of them until you send me mine. So
Did it work?
yeah, he sent me one picture. And so then I sent him one picture, and he was like, bro, you said you had more. I was like, yeah, you had more too. Oh, I didn't like any of them. So we're on this I'm holding out. I have more pictures.
Oh man,
I know you're listening, Chevy.
is that the one picture that he posted of
Yeah,
him in the ring?
That was it.
And then you ended up using it as like a meme
Yeah.
for Rockin' Rivers.
I've got lots of different. My brother did them all, so I'm
He's
not
good at
taking
those.
credit for it. But yeah, he made all the memes, and got some with Nate, and got some with there's all kinds of people.
Yeah, I thought my cousin JT Royce, he's a wrestler.
So
I thought he did
love
pretty good.
that he walked out and just went and got a drink of water.
He
Acted like he didn't even care. He just
Man.
walked to the water
Okay,
machine.
so I'm going to show up to the next one because I see the ads on Facebook and I'm like, what the heck, man? And then I see like Anthony goes and I see all these people that like it that
It's
are
a
like
blast.
I'm friends with. I think I'm going to show up to the next
It's a
event.
blast. I think they're having the next one in Santa Fe. I think in February.
That's the one that I've seen advertised is February.
Is that what it is?
That's what I've seen announced. I don't know. There
But
may
then
be
I
one
thought
in
there was
January
one.
at Bay Cliff.
I know. Yeah, Bay Cliff's in January, and then Santa Fe's in February. But no, they're a blast. Bart puts on an awesome show. The crowd is always fun. Chevy is okay at what he does.
Yeah.
I can never talk good about Chevy, but no, he does really good. I love his heel persona of he does like the heel 80s announcer
Yeah.
with the dark glasses and the suit. It's awesome.
Yeah. I was talking to my cousin, and JT Royce says he was coming out because a lot of these guys, my cousin, he's 21 years old. He lives in Katy. He works in Katy. He wrestles and trains in Katy, but he'll drive, all over
All
Texas.
these guys do. I
right?
mean, that's
They
how you
all
get
do.
your name out.
Yeah, and so he was like, well, he finished work, works in construction, and drove straight down here and didn't have time, went and changed. I saw him walk in, and I was like, hey, what's up? And he was like in the zone to get back, but he changed. And he was like, they said they didn't have any water backstage. And so he was
So
like,
that was legit. He was really thirsty.
he said he was really thirsty, but it worked into the whole thing that he was doing. And he said, no, I was legit thirsty. And I was like, I need some water. So after he finished the match, get some water.
Yeah, he walked. I seen whenever he got done, he went back to the water fountain. I thought that was just part of the gig. I was like, that's kind of funny.
It was, but he was like, I was legit thirsty because I hadn't drank anything. He drove straight from work in Katy and came out. So
All right, Arcadia Baptist. Make
Yeah.
sure you get them some water.
yes,
Get those boys some water. They're hot.
check out UPW as they are going to be coming back to Santa Fe and Bay Cliff, and we
Wherever
like
else.
talking wrestling.
Yeah.
Time, so it's
Love
fun
talking
stuff.
wrestling.
Let's see. Right now it's 10:33. This is KHEA Radio. .com 99.5 FM. Talking to Bobby Miller with Benchmark Woodworking and Renovations. I do like that. Whenever I asked you where the name came from, you're like straight up.
I took it.
I kind of took it from someone in
There's
Maryland.
more than one.
There's more than one.
That's why it says Benchmark TX for like my at on Facebook.
Yeah.
there's Benchmark, like there's and I haven't seen the name around here. There's like a wheel and tire company or something, Benchmark
in League City, or
yeah.
I guess that would be considered League City.
And they have a nice truck with like their Benchmark logo on it, and I just don't want to. I mean, Benchmark, whatever.
You have
But
the same logo.
no, theirs isn't a house with a nail.
I see yours
I
on
think
the
it's
shirt.
like
I was like, let me peek over and see what it was.
Yeah, I'm going to pull it up on the camera so you can see it. Anthony has his shirt on too. Anthony Macaluso, realtor.
That's
Yes,
true.
sir.
Yep.
Got to represent.
And you got that. Did you get that one from Southern Sass?
I did. All my stuff comes from Southern Sass.
Vinyl and more.
Yep.
I wonder if they can make vinyl floors.
Probably
Vinyl
not.
and more. Vinyl and more. I want vinyl floors.
Vinyl and more floors.
Vinyl and floors.
I doubt it. They just pulled in that huge new screen print
That's nuts.
machine.
Yeah.
Where are they?
They're in League City, also off of 518
On the west side.
right before landing.
I
Heading
did a
towards
really
Friendswood.
bad thing, and I got mine on the internet.
No, these guys, they're comparable to the internet prices, sometimes cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
They've done hats, they've done shirts, they've done stickers, they've done signs. They do all kinds of stuff for me.
Awesome.
Yeah, and the turnaround can, if you have, obviously if you have that rapport and stuff, but they will make it happen. They
Yeah.
can make it happen for you. So shout out to Southern Sass
They're out
because
of town today or this week.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, their son graduated from the military
Boot camp.
yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that.
So they will be Wednesday is graduation, so they'll probably be heading home today.
Do you know where they went? Like what?
South Carolina. I just went to the same base. I meant to tell Paul about that. I was there a few months ago, and same base. So
Wow.
they do
That's
this.
cool.
They do this graduation. I thought it was like once a month, and I was talking to one of the guards out there. They do it every single week. Every Wednesday, they're putting a new class through. And my godson went, like I say, a few months ago, and they had like 800 and something people. I was like, man, that's a ton. That was the smallest class they've had in years. Is 800
Wow.
something. So every week they're putting that many soldiers through.
Bobby, you said you were in the military?
I was in the Army.
In the
in
Army?
2007. So I can't remember how many people were in the graduation, but yeah, I can attest to that. Like, there's all kinds of different companies walking around base and stuff. So
Yeah.
you're in the barracks, and you're not the only graduating class. Like, there's
It's crazy.
Yeah,
They
there's
say when they're leaving, there's buses pulling in with people
Exactly,
coming in
yeah.
because like he stayed for like 3 or 4 extra days because he was getting transferred. He was taking a bus to somewhere else. But most of the people on base after graduation, they just hightail it to home or wherever their next scheduled
Yeah.
not event, whatever
Right.
it's called,
Yeah.
duties are.
like 10 days off.
What were you doing in the Army?
So I did signal intel.
What does that mean?
Top
Sounds
secret.
important, yeah.
So you can't really
Top
talk about
secret.
it?
I mean, it's a nerd job. Like,
At least he's honest.
they send you out with the other troops, and you do like communication stuff, and you basically relay messages, paperwork, stuff like that.
Were you good at like Morse code?
No.
Did you have to learn it?
No.
They didn't have
He's
Morse
being
code, bro. That was in
My
07.
grandfather
Blink.
did Morse code in
I don't know.
Vietnam, I think.
So then we just started
No.
like decoding,
It's-
like I don't
you use
know,
you use
encrypted.
a cell phone and or like a landline and computer stuff. Like. So I've never been overseas. I've never been deployed or anything like that.
Where were you
so,
stationed at in the States?
I was actually in San Angelo, Texas, Goodfellow Air Force Base. They have an intel.
So Maryland, boot camp, and then you ended up in
Well,
in
no,
Texas.
I was in Missouri for boot camp.
Okay.
And then ended up in Texas for AIT training, which is the signal training. So, and then stayed there basically.
You mentioned how you came to Texas about 4 years ago to move here, right?
Right.
What is it that brought you here? Like you're like, hey, I'm in Baltimore.
So
You came to Texas
yeah.
before, but what brought you here?
I'll answer this. It's
That
just how
friend.
beautiful Texas was. I got you, bro.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
it is, and you obviously spent some time here.
You heard how
in the
cool
military.
Santa Fe 29th Street was, so that's what he
Right.
wanted to be there.
Yeah.
Santa Fe is nice,
Yeah.
and all these towns are like. Well, I was just talking Hitchcock.
It's so
education.
close,
It is.
like, and even being in League City, it's still so close. Like, okay, it's 21 minutes away to get here from League City. And so, I mean, that's the reason why I'll take the job in Lamarck or Hitchcock or Texas City, like 45 is awesome. Like in Maryland, you can't do that. If you
45 is not awesome.
It can be, and it will be.
sometimes
It'll be good
it's
again.
great.
Yeah, like 3 in the morning, but you still have slight traffic.
It's
I
going to be a
never
16-lane highway when they're done with it.
You know
There's
what
a
I love?
50-lane. Did you see that? There's a 50-lane highway in Japan that goes down to a 3-lane highway.
You know what I love the most?
What?
Sitting in traffic, looking at the machinery.
I hate it.
You enjoy
I love it. Yeah, I love watching the cranes lifting the.
I mean, that's cool and all, but if you got somewhere to be in 2 hours and it's only
they
20 minutes down the road and it takes you 4 hours to get there, it's not cool at all.
Well, my work day usually is like I get to work and then I'll maybe leave for supplies during like lunch or something and then get back to work. But I'm never in. I try. Okay, so I've always been rushed around and felt rushed all my life, you know, and being employed or self-employed like kind of takes that away sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to remember that you're in charge, but the customer's always in charge, you know. But you kind of, it gives you freedom to do, like if you need to pick up something during the day or if you're in traffic, all you have to do is pick up the phone and say, "Hey, I'm in traffic," and like you called your boss. You know?
Just that communication, just opening and having that open door communication, just being straight up. People will appreciate that more than, oh yeah,
Than ghosting, yeah.
I'm 5 minutes away, and then you're stuck in traffic,
Exactly.
which they would understand, and it takes you 35, 40 minutes to get there
Right,
because
yeah.
there was an accident. There's something out of your control.
Right. Yeah, and people understand. Like a lot of people are afraid, like to communicate with someone, and it's the easiest thing to do is just like you hear all these stories of people just getting like shut down, like they don't ever hear back from their contractor, and it happens before people finish the job and after people finish the job. They just never come back, and it's like I just my line is always open, you know, whether it's good or bad. So
Cool. All right. So if you were talking about some, potential growth, it's getting to that point where you may have to sub some more stuff out or,
Right.
or hire some people. Do you see that happening maybe next year?
I think so. Like one of the next steps is buying more machinery to help make cabinets. Obviously, that's like my main thing. So like processing is what needs to be sped up, like the cutting of the cabinet parts.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be buying some machinery to help speed that up, and then subbing everything out. I mean, it should take about probably like 4.5 weeks to do a full bathroom remodel. And it takes me a little bit longer because I'm doing it all myself, and building custom cabinets for the job also if they're needed, you know. So I take a little bit longer. So I'm trying to speed that up to at least get it to a normal, like, competitive time frame, you know. And then if I can beat that, that's even better.
Yeah.
So it takes a while. Things take a while. There's processes that have to happen, like. A plumber has to come in, then that has to be inspected. An electrician has to come in, then that has to be inspected. I mean, it all takes time, but if we can speed it up in other areas, that's great.
Yeah, I always have
So-
ideas like, oh, a shelf would be cool there, or I have a lot of
Right.
shoes, and I'm like, I need to figure out something. Like if I had this, I don't know, like a
Right.
shelf built into the closet. I do have one.
And you
Whenever-
think it's going to be expensive because it needs to be a custom piece,
Right.
right? But it's really not. You know, like that would be called something custom. That's a great example of something that's custom, you know, but it's probably not that expensive. You're thinking like, man, this guy, it's going to be $500 for a daggone shelf in the corner, you know? It's not, you know, it's a couple pieces of wood, especially if you're like going to paint it or something like that. And you're not like trying to have it sprayed with a cabinet finish, you know, it's not that expensive.
Cool.
So
That makes sense. I was just thinking about something, but my dad came over, and so I have a room in my house, and I have some guitars that are hanging on the walls, and so he helped me, again, just like measuring, like,
Right.
oh, dude, I'll just like put some stuff on there, but it ended up looking pretty cool. But I hate having to. I know my dad's busy. He retired from work, and then he works. He still works. He enjoys it. That's what I'm
Right.
thinking. Like Anthony, I can see you being like my dad. Like,
I'll work.
what
to
do
the
I
day
do?
die,
I'm
sure.
bored. What I'm gonna do?
Right.
Like, oh, I'll just do this
I'll do-
for fun.
Honestly, I'll do real estate till I die.
Mm-hmm.
It's something I enjoy. So
Yeah, but he measured and put that stuff up. But I always hate having to call, and he would do it whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But just being like, can you help me try and build this? But
He's like, yeah, I'll build it.
yeah, and he will, and he'll get started on it, and then I feel like, oh, I wish I could help more, but then I'm just
Right,
holding the
yeah.
flashlight. I'm holding the flashlight, and my ears turn into Baby Yodas, and I have the, the whole thing again. All I learned how to do is hold this flashlight and get yelled at.
But you know, every time he comes over and sees that, he's gonna be like, "Dang, I built that for or
Yeah.
with," you know.
My
That's
dad-
true.
That's kind of like my old man. He just built. So we wanted a toy box for River. He built him a cool toy box, and it's memories. That's what it is.
Yep.
He just put bookshelves in his room. He made some custom bookshelves with his name and everything on it. And it's like I go in there and look at it, and I'm like, oh, it's kind of cool. My dad made it, and River will do the same thing, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hey, whenever it comes to building stuff, I think of the closet, and sometimes people have like gun safes. Is there a way to do like I'm trying to make this combined?
gosh,
if y'all can
yes.
have a collab,
dude, there is
the
some,
gun vault TA, like a custom,
like hidden rooms and stuff.
yeah,
It's
I've done-
super common.
Yeah, it's
super common.
neat. I've been to quite a few different ones. Like we'll put safes in for people, and they have hidden walls.
Yeah.
Love it.
Mhm.
Always makes me happy when I see them.
yeah. And I mean, it's important to keep that stuff, locked away and keep it in a safe way, but also accessible if you know it's there and you
Right.
need it for self defense, protection of your house or whatever.
Exactly. I mean, it's a safe. A lot of people don't just it's not just to keep your storage in there. It's an actual safe room that you can lock from the inside, and it gives you that extra time.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, you pray that you're never going to be your house is never going to be broken into, but like there's going to be that day might come. And
yeah, and you have to know what you're gonna do, and
you have to
how
have a plan. Even
Yep,
if you
exactly.
don't have a safe room, you have to have a plan.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
like if I get stranded on the side of the road or I need a tow,
Right.
yeah, you just got to have something. But yeah, just having that preparation. I've seen videos on the internet where there's like beds, and the guy's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
boom, like hits the thing.
Dude, that's yeah.
I was like,
And,
that's
I'm
next
just gonna
level.
he
do-
catches it every time. You
Yeah.
know.
Wow, yeah.
Fall on you. I just do what Kevin McAllister did in Home Alone. And
Yeah. I
that's
have paint
my
cans.
go-to. Yeah.
I have a second
Marbles.
story. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my go-to. I just watched that show a few days ago again. I still
Yeah,
love it.
it's on TV. It's on TV right now.
Yeah, I love it.
I showed my son that movie a couple years ago, but then that was a mistake because then he was like pranks. Like he
Yeah.
wanted to get into that. I was like,
Mhm.
oh,
I
You
might
go
booby
home
trap
and he
my
starts
house.
burning your hands.
yeah, with the door handle
Yes.
and just like heating it up.
Love it.
Come on. But yeah, Home Alone 2 was on, and Donald Trump, he's
Yep.
in there.
Oh, really?
And it's just funny
He is,
because he's like,
it's
hey,
at his
kid.
hotel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know, I would say the first one's still my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I think that was.
I
the
don't
best
even
one.
remember.
The
anything
second one was
about
in New
the
York.
second
He
one,
was in New
really.
York.
New York
Yeah.
is
Oh,
the,
Lost in New
is the
York.
second
yeah.
one.
Yeah,
And then I guess, are they in Chicago? I think he
The
stays at
first
home
one.
and they.
they go to. My thing is pay attention to your kids, people.
I know. How many times are you
mean-
gonna lose
Well, they had a
it?
lot. Look, to be fair, there was a large family on a trip, and Kevin obviously
He's
was a
very
little
mischievous.
wily.
Yeah.
He's wily. I think is accurate. So Thanksgiving's next week. What's going on? What do you guys got? You're gonna have any turkey?
I'm cooking turkey.
You're cooking
actually,
turkey?
I smoked a turkey last week because I've never smoked one before, and I was like, I want to smoke a turkey for
You need to
Thanksgiving.
practice.
Dude, it turned out amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man,
You can have any turkey?
I didn't have any of that turkey, but
Got
we'll
some
be
left at
having
the house,
turkey.
obviously.
I'm going to San Antonio with my fiance. Her family lives there, so yeah.
Awesome.
And I'm actually doing work out there.
While you're on,
Well, no, not this time. But so we're getting married at her parents' house. So we're kind of like doing some renovation stuff, and he told me to leave my stuff at him, my tools at him this time. So
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, like on Thanksgiving. Where's Bobby? He's
Right.
working on a job.
He's
He's
on
in
the
the
roof.
garage.
Yeah,
Yep.
getting that Thanksgiving OT in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. But so next week on the show, something interesting is going to happen.
You're going to have a live turkey?
I'm going to be
Uh-oh.
doing cooking.
Oh.
from a kitchen. We're going to do kitchen. We're taking the gear, going to a
Okay.
kitchen. I have everything planned. I actually practiced, and I've made 3 pies in the past 2 days.
Right on.
And
Any
I made a
pecan
turkey
pies?
last night, and so I'm going to be making another turkey. Yes, a pecan pie.
Where is it at?
It's at my house. Actually, 2 pecan pies and a chocolate pie. And then I'm
What are
going
we
to be
doing,
also
man?
making. I made a turkey already, but I'm that was in practice, so that way it comes out. So it's going to be called KHEA Kitchen. This is the first time I've mentioned it on air. So if you tune in next week, you're going to see something interesting. And I'm just going to it's going to be live, but produced live, kind of like how this is. So I'm doing it like I'm not a professional chef. I'm not an amateur chef.
Okay, so real quick, how are you going to do the turkey Are you going to pre-cook it like they do on Martha Stewart?
Exactly.
All right, there we
so
go.
I'm gonna have it cooked, and I'm gonna prep it, and then be like, actually, this one just came out the oven. Like I'll have it to where it's timed, hopefully accurate, and then be like, and this is what it looks like.
Where y'all doing it?
We're gonna do it in my house.
Okay.
Is this going to be a?
You already have
like
Christmas up over there. I've seen the ball of Christmas lights, so you should be good.
Is it
I've
a
been
weekly
prepping.
thing?
I'm prepping.
Do it.
A weekly thing.
This is my first time to ever do this.
But is it going to be like a?
It may be.
If it goes well.
That's what I said. I was telling someone about it. I said, if you watch it and share it, and it's received well, or if nobody cares, then I'm never doing it again.
KHEA radio may never be again. It's just going to be KHEA
I'm
Kitchen.
shut down. If nobody watches, I'm never doing this again. I'm going to have my feelings so hurt and just be like, that was it.
The feed
we're done.
accidentally dropped.
Yeah. I'll watch it, bro.
Thank you.
Is it all week?
I'm going to do Tuesday. I'm still doing Choppa.
Okay.
So Monday,
Why
Wednesday,
don't you take Choppa
Thursday,
to your
Friday.
kitchen?
You know what? We had thought about that.
That would probably be a bad idea.
We had thought about it,
He'll throw all your food out.
but it would have to be Choppa approved.
Yeah.
And so he has a very particular way. He's a natural, like a nutritionist way of eating, and
He'll throw everything
he
out.
everything would go out. But do you know Chef Jimmy? He's from Texas City. He runs some food trucks and restaurants and catering. He has a kitchen actually here in Lamarck, and he showed me some pictures. He was like, if you want to in the future, you can do this in my kitchen. And I was like, really? And there's a lot of space, so we'll see if it goes well. Then maybe every couple weeks or a week, or depending on what it looks like. We'll find out how much work it is, pretty much. How much work is it really?
So we're going to go hang out at Gardy's next week and eat.
Kind of. That's kind of what's
I'm
going
in.
on.
Let's do this.
So I'm doing a casserole. I'm going to do some stuff for some sides. And some of it's going to be like straight from like I'm going to make macaroni, but it's like Velveeta. I'm like,
This is all I got,
it
guys.
It is what it is, you know. But I'll do like green bean casserole, which if I think it's easy, but we'll see.
It's easy.
We'll see.
I don't think
We
you can
could
go
bet.
wrong with any of those things.
Yeah. Well, the
Green
turkey
bean casserole.
The turkey's
I mean,
gonna be the
yeah, the
hardest
turkey,
part.
yeah, but
It's going to be looking like
The,
the turkey off of Christmas Vacation. Whenever they
Yeah.
cut it open, it just goes.
And I think if it does, that may be funny. Like it may make it more enjoyable to watch.
I
Like,
agree.
If everything
I
is
want
just
it to
like
be
garbage.
awful.
Yeah, I'm just like, and
right.
The dog won't even
I'm
eat
gonna
it.
eat it anyways. Yeah.
I've never cooked a turkey in my life, so
It's not bad.
I've only
It's not
cooked
hard.
two. The one that I cooked, and I'll show you all. It cooked yesterday. My dad just said I could be the taste tester. Hey, Dad, I didn't even know you were
See,
watching.
I agree with him. He
So
should
there's-
invite us.
And I'll show you guys watching.
See, that looks legit.
Yeah.
I think so too. And
Yeah.
I don't know. So, but on video, we'll see how it comes out.
like the skin looks kind of crispy on the outside.
Yeah, and that's what I told my wife. I was like, it has to be kind of like a a dark. And I would even get like
man.
paint. Like if nobody can see, I'm just like
Just paint it.
just
That's how
paint it.
they do it
Airbrush.
for the commercials.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the way they do it. Hey, we got like 5 minutes left. Is there
I've-
anything else we need to touch
I've
on
got
that we
one
haven't?
thing.
What is
That's it? We're doing a Blue Santa for Rockin' Rivers.
Yes.
So if you just want to donate, we can do that. Or if you want a bounce house, we'll take money off for the bounce house. It's going to Galveston County, which is going to any town in Galveston County. They'll give Christmas to some kiddos that are less fortunate. So
Yeah.
we have flyers out right now on Rockin' Rivers Bounce House, and then you can call us or email us, whatever. We'll be happy to pick up the toys. Got to be unwrapped, new inbox.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's important. So that way you know who it goes, like what age. And I guess if it
Right.
was
Well,
wrapped, we'd open it up.
We're actually wrapping them on December the 18th.
Okay.
I have a friend who's involved with it. Her name's Kat. She's a
She a
chicken lady.
rapper?
She is not. I guess she's going to be
Herbert?
rapping, but it's going to be different rapping. But for them to accept it, it has to just be unopened and all that. So yeah, if you want to donate, that's awesome. We'll pick it up or meet up and get it, or we'll give you money off for your next bounce house.
Cool. I'm going to tag Rockin' Rivers. Make sure that you reach out to Anthony Rockin' Rivers if you want to be involved, if you want to donate a new toy, something that's unwrapped. You don't even have to wrap it. And it's going to go to a local kid.
Yeah, Galveston County Blue Santa is
Yeah.
who they'll be going to. So we're going to end it December 17th and wrapping them December 18th and sending them out.
All right. Hey, Bobby, is there anything else you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys need anything woodworking or renovation wise, just give me a call. I mean, it doesn't hurt to call. Worst thing that can happen is say, no, I don't do that. I mean, I usually go out. I come out for free, look at the job, give you an honest opinion for free, and give you a free estimate. So give me a call.
Can you do anything from pictures? Like if I was like, this is the space, it's better to get eyes on it.
Yeah, it depends on the situation, but yeah, sometimes I do from pictures for sure. I mean, if you can text me pictures or something like what you want, I basically just did that this week for a built-in. You know, Pinterest has a lot of pictures on that website. So
yeah. As a carpenter, you know, working in woodworking, is Pinterest is that a source? Do people show you, or do you use that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't use it personally, but people always send me pictures from Pinterest.
You don't use Pinterest?
You know,
Have you ever seen that?
That's
No,
funny because
It's a real website. It's
Really?
men's Pinterest.
Huh.
so it'd be like cars and
Yeah, and that's what it is.
and-
I'm not on it. I've been on it before, but yeah, it's just a lot of like manly things.
It's like
There's
I'm not on it
there's
right
no
now
woodworking?
today.
Beard growing, you know.
Oh gosh.
Oh man, that's awesome. Because I know I think of Pinterest and I think of my wife planning our wedding when we got married.
Yeah, that's happening right now in my
When-
household.
When are you getting married?
April 18th,
That's
Of
all
next
good
year?
on that day, bro.
2020.
April 18th. That's awesome. Congratulations.
If you need somebody to cook for you, he can do it.
Apparently,
You make tacos?
I eat tacos.
You don't see the tacos?
Oh gosh, yeah.
I eat
Did-
tacos.
would you
We're
think
gonna
about
have a
the turk-
taco bar.
What'd you think about the turkey taco yesterday?
Yeah, I'm down for turkey tacos.
No, the picture on Talk of Taco,
Which one?
the one I posted.
I'm
with
sure I
the
saw
turkey dressed up as a taco.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious. You know what? The first thing that came to mind, I had, but I realized I was like, wait, you weren't in that conversation. Somebody suggested because on Friday it's going to be, what do you do with the leftovers? What do you do with your leftover food? So I'm going to make
cold turkey sandwiches.
Well, that's what I'm gonna do.
Dude.
A turkey
Thing ever.
sandwich. But someone said you should do a turkey taco, and I was like, I'm an idiot. Of course, I should do a turkey taco. So
Yeah.
I need to track down. Well, it won't be hard. But go to the store and buy some tortillas because I have everything else. But I have all the turkey. So I'm gonna cook the turkey, then use the leftover turkey for the show on Friday.
Dude, that's
To make a
smart. I
sandwich.
didn't even think about that. Turkey
Tacos.
tacos. I've done like you can do turkey salad,
Yeah.
all that. Turkey tacos.
They said
I have got turkey at my house right now. It's going
fried
down.
turkey.
What is that
No,
chemical in turkey that puts you to sleep?
Tryptophan?
What? I don't even
Yeah, that
know,
thing.
but it
Tryptophan
works.
or-
It
Tryptophan
works
sounds
very
right.
well.
Yeah, it just knocks you out.
Yeah.
Crazy how that happens after you eat like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Are y'all the kind that's like, hey, I'm eating till I can't eat anymore, and then I'm gonna take a nap, and then I'm gonna wake up and eat some more?
No,
Is that
I'm
what
gonna
you're
eat some
playing?
more.
Absolutely not.
I'll eat until I can't eat anymore, and then take a nap, and then I'm done.
It's. I mean, I'm a grazer, so I'll graze throughout the day. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Do y'all do it at like lunchtime or is it like dinner?
we eat at lunch.
Yeah, that's what my family does too.
You eat
I'm
at
not
lunch
sure
and then
this
fall
year
asleep watching
because-
football.
There's some old people involved, and like that. I mean, the grandmother, you know.
So it's
like,
breakfast then.
Yeah, it's
Look at you.
whenever she shows up, you know.
8:30.
Like,
Exactly.
Here's your turkey.
And I like that because then you can eat then,
Right.
and then you can eat at lunchtime, and then you can eat some more.
The next.
or you can eat before
week.
she gets there and just make pretend you didn't eat yet.
Yeah.
eat
See,
again.
there's that.
That's the grazing part. That's
Yeah.
the fun part.
All
It'd
right.
be like, oh, I don't want to eat too much, but knowing you just
You
had
already
4
stuffed
bowls.
her.
Right? Like,
What happened to that 30-pound turkey? There's only 4 pounds left. I don't know, Grandma.
Is there a dish that y'all are looking forward to that you don't make? Somebody else does. They're bringing it. Like my grandma makes like this casserole, and I always look forward
aunt
to it.
makes a sweet potato thing, but she's not coming this year.
That's tough.
Well, it's like ours is small this year. Stephanie's got to work, so
Yeah.
we're just kind of like doing our thing. But yeah, she makes a sweet potato pie.
Yeah.
Sweet potato stuff, and it's delicious.
And Bobby,
so
I'm not
unhealthy.
sure. You're going in maybe to Uncharted. Have you ever had Thanksgiving at your fiance's before?
yeah, I went last year, and it's definitely a good time. Her father cooks, and her mother makes a couple dishes and everything, and I think her grandmother brings some stuff. And we're taking something this year. I don't know what, but we're taking something. But green bean casserole is usually on the table, and that's one of my
Yeah.
favorite things ever.
Mine
so.
too. And it's
yeah.
not that.
It's seasonal. It starts the season, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like it's like the kickoff to like the holidays.
Now you know.
Yeah,
And it can last, December, green bean casserole.
right?
And then in January, it's going to disappear for a year. Then come back around.
You know, see, we make it throughout the year.
You do?
Yeah.
I've never had it other
I'm
than
not one of those
holidays.
guys that's like, we can only eat this at Christmas. No, if I want a turkey in May,
You're going to bake a turkey.
we're turkey ended up in May.
That's cool.
I ain't afraid.
You'll invite people over. You're like, this is my turkey.
Right?
He hides it
birthday
from his
turkey.
family.
Here's your Memorial Day ham.
Hey, ham is expensive. When I was looking at things to cook, I was like, oh, maybe I'll do a ham. And I was like, no, I'm not.
Right.
It was like $60. And it was like,
See,
not
I
that
don't.
big.
Okay, I'm going to call people out.
Yeah.
It irritates me that people want ham instead of turkey on Thanksgiving.
I wanted both.
I mean,
Both, yeah.
ham goes for Christmas.
A Christmas ham.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving turkey. It is in their name, guys.
I've never
Stop
actually
mixing
heard
it.
it like that.
Yes.
Both next
Stop
to each
mixing
other.
it
Yeah.
up. Just please.
I've heard the Christmas ham.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
need world peace, guys.
But turkey, you could just say like one word and it's like, oh, Thanksgiving. Like,
yeah.
what's the holiday or what's the day you think
Do
of?
you save a turkey for Christmas? Or I guess does the president save a turkey for Christmas?
Oh,
He doesn't.
Right. No.
Yeah.
Have they written a song
Thanksgiving.
about a turkey for Christmas?
They haven't.
No.
I saw turkey
Stop mixing
kissing.
it up, people.
All right. Hey, we're out of time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Benchmark Woodworking and Renovations, Anthony Macaluso, a local realtor. You can go check out Rockin' Rivers Bounce House Party Supplies. You can also check out the brand new The Gun Vault TX and search for that on the internet. Hit them up. You can also look on our stream as well, as they have been tagged. This is KHEA Radio. If you're listening on 99.5 FM, go like our Facebook page. You can check out theirs as well. Be blessed. Thank you guys for hanging out today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Facebook. See you guys.